Kim Jong-un is in a very fragile state, some saying close to death even. This is obviously a huge development that will have major repercussions for the region and for the United States. We'll continue to monitor it on Fox News throughout the evening.
No way.
I'm not going to be able to eat. I'm not going to be able to pay my gas, my electric, my rent.
I can't pay any of my bills for this month. Definitely not next month.
I've had conversations with my parents about having to probably move back home if I can't find work.
We understand the health risk, but we also understand the need to keep the economy going.
We want to get back to work. We're starving. We're dying on the vine.
But what if the so-called stimulus bill passed by Congress encourages people not to work? Provisions that Democrats forced into the legislation could make it more lucrative for some workers to stay unemployed. Now, this isn't getting a lot of attention in the media, but my next guests have been thinking about it a lot, and a couple of restaurateurs that I know, Herman Cain, former 2012 presidential candidate, former CEO of Godfather's Pizza, and also with me is Rodney Mayo, a South Florida restaurateur himself who's forced to lay off 650 employees. Herman, let's start with you. I've heard this from a restaurateur in Washington who said half of his 600 employees have already said because of the money they're now getting from two different sources from the government, they're making more staying out of work. And these are close family friends over the years, but they're staying home now. What are your thoughts?
Well, my thoughts are, what are they going to do when that runs out? One statistic says 20% of the businesses, the restaurant businesses, aren't going to be around after this is over because 20% of the businesses or more were on the edge of bankruptcy even before this happened. And even if they were to get a government loan/grant, they still are going to have to attract customers, and they simply don't have the funds to do that. So they are right. They are going to have to look for other jobs. It's called do what you can do. Go look for another job. If you don't think that your job is going to come back, and if you're part of that 20% that probably wasn't going to make it anyway, you should be finding another job right now.
But Rodney, I'm focusing on this perverse incentive that two different restaurateurs, two different types of food, have both have told me a good percentage of their employees, even if they went back into business tomorrow, wouldn't come back until that money runs out. I guess, what is it, mid-July? What about that perverse incentive?
It is a perverse incentive.
Wait, I know Rodney here. Hold on. Go ahead, Rodney.
Go ahead, Rodney.
Okay. Well, there's a lot of confusion over what all this, the stimulus package means, but I think that's going to boil down to the owners and the boss. It's their decision who they bring back on or who they rehire. That's going to get help funded by that stimulus package. So, I don't think they're going to have a choice. I don't think there's going to be many owners or bosses that are going to agree to hire somebody back, pay them their full